Fellow nerds, we are talking Invincible, Season 2, Episode 4. It's been a while. And I don't know about you, gentlemen, but
Wow.
finding out that we have to wait till 2024 to get new Invincible episodes was very disappointing, especially after how much I really enjoyed this fourth episode.
Yeah, they might as
I
well call it for the next 4 weeks. They'll call it Invisible.
oh, that's good. That's really good.
But you
I
should
don't
put a
understand this
stamp on that.
decision. I really don't get it. I mean, I could understand maybe if this was because of the writer strike and the actor strike, but I I can't imagine that's the case. Usually with animated series, save for like the few outliers like, South Park where they literally animate and voice the episode the week before it airs. But other than like weird outliers like that, most animated series are done a year or so in advance to it airing. So I can't imagine that the strikes were the reason why this is being held up. I don't understand Amazon's decision to delay it like this, to put this like, weird airing schedule. I was talking to you two about this before, but it feels like they're barely pushing it. They're barely advertising Invincible, at least to me. I mean, we saw a couple of trailers beforehand, but very little push for it.
Well, just so you know, the Season 2, Episode 1 had 3 times the amount of views as Season 1, Episode 1.
Hmm.
So I do see it like when I turn on Prime, I do see like ads for it and stuff, but
Hmm.
not many other places. But we even talked
Right.
last week. We're like, what's so great about streaming? They don't take the holidays off,
And what's happening?
and
Yeah, they-
that's the only thing I can think of that they didn't want to have during Christmas shows dropping. Like they would lose viewership. But I mean, I thought it was great that they dropped on Thanksgiving because
Same.
even though I couldn't watch it Thanksgiving, I got up early Friday morning and watched it.
I did the same thing. Watch it Friday morning, and that's fine.
yeah, I mean, who cares if it comes out on Thursday? I mean, as long as you're getting views, who cares if you're watching it Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Who cares? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. So I guess I get that. I didn't consider the fact that they might be delaying it because of the holidays, but that's such a dumb reason.
I can't think of any other reason though, because you're right. This was all done before the writers or the actor strike. It was like
Hmm.
booked solid, so I can't think of why they're doing it, except to maybe
Yeah, if they were
stretch
gonna
out.
do that, why didn't they just drop a couple at a time and then end it right before Christmas?
Yep.
I mean,
I think this show actually, and we talked about this with the first season. This show actually does work with the whole water cooler effect, assuming they've got big twists. But this season hasn't had the biggest twists. I'd say it had a couple, like here and there, the whole thing with Alan the alien in the episode prior was a bit of a like, oh wow, I didn't expect that. And then Mark going to the bug planet and his father turns out, that he's the in charge of the planet because they wanted him to be, and he's just like there. It's like you I didn't expect that when Mark left Earth, but as soon as he got to the planet and started asking, "Hey, what's going on? Where are the meteors?" It's like, okay, I think I know what's going on. It was a bit of a twist. It wasn't, in my opinion, as big of a twist as like what happened in a lot of the season one episodes, where it was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it happened in the end of episode one," and then everything is like a murder mystery leading up to that. Like, are they going to find out? Are they going to catch Nolan? What's going to happen?
You know what though? I mean, this episode, even though it didn't have a bunch of twists or anything along those lines, I mean, playing that Nick Cave song while Omni Man is just kind of floating through space, I was like,
That was
that
great.
is a nice touch. That was phenomenal.
This is something that they did extra for the show. This was not really in the comics. They're really expanding on Omni-Man's whole emotional side.
And it's working. I think they've done a good job. Doug was saying before the stream how he doesn't understand emotions, even though he's kind of feeling them and kind of having that family feeling like he wants to protect Mark, he wants to protect his new family. Spoiler alert, he has another kid. Uh, but it's nice seeing it. And they've done a good job of writing the character that way. Like he's this Viltrumite soldier, but but he's starting to have these weird feelings, and he doesn't quite understand them, and he can't grasp them.
Mm-hmm.
But he was going to kill himself, it seemed like, before that shit came in. So,
Yeah.
you know, he is definitely was going through some depression prior to helping out the Thraxans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the way they did this is huge spoilers, by the way. If you have not, if you haven't seen up to this point the latest episode of Invincible, pause the video, go watch it. But yeah, in the comics, I played off a little bit different. So the Omni-Man's excuse in the comics for why he's on the Thraxan planet is he's like, well, I know that I left Earth, so I figured this was the only way that I could make it up to the Viltrumites if I conquer another planet. And so he literally puts it that way. He says, yeah, I conquered the Thraxan planet and said that I did this instead of Earth. So they definitely switched it up with this, adding the extra bit where he's like actually feeling sorry or maybe feeling guilty. It seems like he felt mostly guilty about nearly killing his son. I think that's what was really hurting him. And the idea that he was actually willing to throw himself like into a dying star because he was like he felt that bad about the whole situation. And then when he realized that there was, other life forms in danger, it was almost like that little piece of him where while he was living on Earth and actually helping people, it kind of came back like, actually, you know what? I do like helping people.
I do like having
So
that hero feeling.
Do you think they're actually going to take him back and they're actually going to be able to kill him? Or do you think he has another role?
I don't think so. I think Omni-Man is way too powerful. Skipping ahead like towards the middle of the episode, when he used his hand to slice open that other Viltrumite, I think he's grown pretty powerful. In the first season, if you remember, Nolan told Mark, he goes, the older we get, the stronger we get, the more powerful we become. I almost wonder if, there's more to it than that. I wonder if, and I noticed this with the way Mark fought. I wonder if not only is it age, but getting in touch with your emotions for a Viltrumite, I wonder if that's what makes you stronger too.
Given to the hate?
Any emotion, really.
No, I know.
Because, yeah, I think with Nolan, he's feeling things, and it almost makes him more of a focused fighter. And he really held his own.
I mean, when Invincible stopped holding back,
Mm-hmm.
he was pretty badass.
Yep.
My question was, with that knife on the end of her hair, I know that,
Why didn't he just grab that?
Well, right. But she sunk it into him, right?
Yeah.
So do they also have a healing power that I don't know about?
A healing power?
I'm sure
Yeah,
they're
because
healing.
they
They have
can.
like
Yeah,
a
they
healing
do.
factor.
I mean, look at how badly he was beaten up by his dad in the first season, and he looks perfectly fine now.
So this will just take him till next week to recover
Probably.
from that knife.
Yeah, because he's gotten beat up really bad a couple of times. Like when he was helping Robot Head, helping to fight Robot Head, and what is it, Beastmaster? I can't remember what the name of that guy was. So the White Lion fighting dude
Oh, what was his name?
from the first season, but he like destroyed Mark. It really did, and he also destroyed like the rest of the new Guardians of the Globe too. He was really handing them their asses, and I think Mark, they said he had to spend like 2 weeks in the hospital, and then after that he was fine.
But the
Viltrumite.
Viltrum
Yeah.
Viltrum blade, is that any different than a blade here? Is that going to affect him any differently?
I doubt it. I doubt they have the technological know-how to to make good blades. They're probably just like, well, this was left over from the smart people we killed. This will work.
Like, yeah, I can slice somebody open with my hand anyway, so what do I need a knife for?
And by the way, his name was Battle Beast.
Battle Beast. That's it. Okay, thank you.
Well, that's incredibly original.
I know it's so.
It's a family name.
It's a family name. My name's Bertold Battlebeast the third.
The third Esquire.
That's I was a lawyer before
He's
this,
actually a lawyer, yeah.
before I got into battle beastery.
I did think it was kind of funny while I was watching the end of that episode and after,
Wow, wow, wow.
and I'm like, why aren't they killing Mark? Why won't they kill him? I'm like, I thought he was gonna have to fight his way out of there, and the whole
Nope.
Earth is now your planet. You had better take it over because you don't want us coming there and you not having control of that planet. I was like, they are pretty dumb. You were talking last week
Yeah.
that basically, while they were breeding and getting all the strongest, they kind of stopped, worrying about the intelligence being passed down. And not only did you see it in that decision, which I'm assuming will come back to haunt them, or this is going to be a really weird show, but also when it's like, when he was talking, you don't know the Viltrumite rules for, procreating with alien races, only with humanoids. And I'm like, holy racists.
Yeah.
It's like the
Hey,
Empire not wanting to deal with alien races in Star Wars. I'm like, wow, because it looks like a bug. They're lesser than us. I was like, damn.
Well, the
Imagine,
best thing about that scene was we got Clancy Brown.
yes, so great to have him back. I love the fact that we've got the Joker's voice actor from Superman animated series, and we've got Lex Luthor's voice actor from Superman the animated series.
It's good stuff.
It is. And Justice League, I guess. They're both in that too.
Yep, true. Now, the question is, did they know that he had a kid? Did any of those Viltrumites know that he had a kid on that planet? Or just
I
the one
assume
that died?
Probably. They probably reported it.
Well, that one that died didn't die.
He did after that. He didn't die the first time. I think he was dead by the end of the episode.
No, they were carting him off, and
Oh, they did?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So,
He's the one who did.
and again, I don't know if they're doing this for the show, but in the comics, the only way to actually kill a Viltrumite is you have to destroy their brain and their heart. Any other injury they can come back from. So he just had his guts hanging out of him. He's fine. He'll be back. He'll be fine in a couple of days.
Well, then Nolan should have known that.
He should have, but maybe Nolan's not that bright either.
True. They're bred for strength.
I mean, that lady that he pretty much separated her head, she's going to live in a lot of pain then.
Mhm.
It's going to be a while before she's normal.
So as far as them, giving that mission to Mark, it in the show it doesn't make as much sense. It does make them come off as kind of dumb, but it also changes up Mark's character a little bit. So I do like that although he is displaying more strength, he is trying to stick to his guns. Like he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna kill people. I don't kill people. I'm a hero. I'm not gonna be like the Viltrumites. Like, even though his dad is telling him, no, you're a Viltrumite, you gotta do this. And he's like, no, I'm not. It's like, I'm not gonna be like them. I like that he's sticking with that. In the comics, he doesn't really. And he does let his anger get the best of him a
Do
couple
you
of
think
times.
we'll see that kind of popping up throughout the seasons?
I don't know. I don't know if they're changing that about him, so I'm not entirely sure. But because of that, the Viltrumites respect him in the comics, and they're like, "Oh, you beat one of ours, therefore, we're going to make you an official Viltrumite, and we're going to send you as an emissary to Earth, and you get to take over your father's mission." So that's why they did it in the comics. It made a little bit more sense. It was like, okay, well, because you beat one of us,
Well, they
You're
kind of
one
say
of
that
us.
like
You are worthy.
you
Yeah.
showed your fighting prowess.
Yeah.
Even though I do think watching that scene when the dad was like,
Hey,
it's
Sarah, how's it going?
Kill or be killed.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that, yeah, he's gonna start, especially when he goes back to Earth. I'm assuming he'll get back to Earth next episode or two. I'm assuming he'll take that kid too, but who knows? But I think he's going to start being like, you guys don't know what's coming. I have seen firsthand what these people do, and he's going to start, being a lot more like his dad. Not in the sense that he's going to try to take over Earth, but he's going to be a lot more ruthless in dealing with things because that's how he has to be to actually, battle the Viltrumites.
And I was wondering if I was wondering about that too, because the other plot that was going on with this episode, and I guess that's what makes it so weird that this is a mid-season finale, that they didn't really focus on a single storyline. They still did, like, they treat it like a normal episode. They split it between like an A, B, and C plot, right? So in the B plot of this, with Adam Eve, we see her kind of succumbing to her anger. And we see her, she's so upset and so mad that, things are going the way that they are, that she's willing to not pay attention to her surroundings, and she's willing to put civilians in danger just to, lay. Going back to that point, so this was an awesome subplot. I like what they're doing with this show, where they are expanding on each one of the characters, and I like that once again we get some time spent with Adam Eve, and we realize that she's not perfect. She's going through her own thing. We see her quickly succumb to her anger, and I wonder if that's going to be an issue. When by the time Mark comes back, is she going to have to deal with anger issues? Because we see that it gets the better of her as she's fighting Arm Cannon, or whatever we said his name was.
I think that's what we went with.
Sure. Battle Beast, Arm Cannon,
Creative proof. They do a good job.
Right.
What's your power? Super strength. You're going to be strength boy. Cool.
Strength boy. All right.
Here's strength boy. Here's the immortal guy.
I like that they're showing where
what do you do? I
know
karate really well. Okay, Karate Kid, get the hell out.
Karate Kid. Oh, please let them do that. They need a character named Karate Kid with 2 Ds.
Kid.
Oh, that'd be amazing. And he's got to have the same bandana too.
Oh, hell yeah.
He walks around like this.
Right.
Just so you know, they are making another Karate Kid movie.
Really? With the current lineup of Cobra Kai?
I think all I saw for was Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan? So he played him in the new version, right? He played Mr. Miyagi in the new version?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he wasn't named Mr. Miyagi, but yeah, the same idea.
He wasn't?
No, he was like Mr. Han. Because
whoa, Mr. Han, if you're here, I'm here. Doesn't that make it our time?
Because the one with Jackie Chan, it was set in China, whereas Mr. Miyagi was from oh my god, what is
Okinawa?
Okinawa,
thank you. My god, why couldn't I remember the name of that place? Yeah, so Mr. Miyagi's from Okinawa.
I know why you couldn't remember the name of it, because you're not a Marine, Doug.
People were joking. No, I am not a Marine. I should eat more crayons than I would remember, but
they don't help you remember.
Oh no, does the wax block it off?
That's not what makes it work, right?
Is it the glue then? Does the glue help make the memory stick?
It does, yes.
Okay, all right.
But that's funny. That's funny.
People were making a lot of fun of the new Karate Kid, the Karate Kid remake. I don't even want to call it the new one anymore, but the Karate Kid remake. They're making fun of it because Mr. Han doesn't even teach him karate. That's not what he's teaching him kung fu, and they enter a kung fu championship.
So it's all twisted.
It's all twisted. He is trying to teach himself karate by watching karate lessons on TV or whatever, because he's tired of getting bullied. So before he starts training in kung fu, he's the Karate Kid. And I think they sort of they do they said the thing. I think they do that like at one point in the movie. He's like lining up trying to like do karate moves, and like who is this? Is he like a Karate Kid or something?
It's so clever. Well, must have
Sounds
been
god-awful.
The Smith family influence on that movie. Altering the script and all.
So yeah, I'm curious now that you mentioned that there's going to be another one. Are they going to merge the Karate Kid multiverse?
All I saw was that they're making it. That's about the extent.
And no Hillary Swank, huh?
Not that they've announced yet.
Well, that's interesting. But back to Invincible.
Yeah.
So my question to you two gentlemen is, once Mark comes back, and he, is Adam Eve still going to be going through some things? Is she still going to be relying a lot on her anger? Is she going to be fighting with a lot of anger? And is Mark going to have to be the words of wisdom, kind of talking her off the ledge, like, hey, I know what you're going through. I have to fight with this all the time. You cannot let your anger get the best of you. We're heroes. Do you think that's going to happen? Or do you think this is going to be an opportunity for Adam Eve to kind of overcome this on her own?
I think it'll be on her.
Yeah, I think that's the best hero story is that she deals with it and goes through it on her own and comes to her own conclusion. Otherwise, she'll always owe somebody, and she'll always feel like she owes somebody.
I like that. That's good. Well, either way, she does need to, come to terms with it because, if you think about it, who really stands the best chance against the Viltrums? When the Viltrumites come and they invade, who do you want? Just another Viltrumite against a Viltrumite, or do you want literally Dr. Manhattan who can affect physics? And
is the answer shapeshift?
Right? Turn them into the bug people that they hate so much or something.
She could end that conflict in one motion.
She probably could.
Well,
If she has access to her full powers, which I don't think she currently does.
And I wonder if the Viltrumites do any...
Oh boy, she turned in gems for all of the voices. Okay.
No, Nysith turned in.
Nysith turned in gems for all 3 voices. All right, well, I guess we're going to have to...
The counter has started, so we're on the clock for 5 minutes. We're going to remember this, Nysith. Don't think you're going to get it so easy next time you join us on a stream.
We'll get him back when he's here for Christmas. We'll put him on the air and make him do these voices himself.
And he just cashed in and say something nice about Wonder Woman 84. Palpatine, would you like to say something nice about
I think he should lead us
Wonder
in
Woman
prayer.
84?
Have you ever heard the tale of Wonder Woman the 84? It's a tale that the Jedi wouldn't have told you.
This is definitely done.
It's a tale that only the Sith knew. You must use your hatred. You must turn to the dark side of the Force, and only then can you know the beauty that is Wonder Woman 84. You see, in that film, that marvelous masterpiece, you see, it really embraces the dark side. You see, Wonder Woman uses her evil wish on the dark wishing stone, and she wishes for her dead boyfriend to come back and inhabit a body, much like I wanted to do. You see, somehow I had to return, and I was going to take over the body of a clone, and somehow Wonder Woman's boyfriend had to return, and so he took over. Handsome Man, that's his name. Look it in the credits.
I'm sure that guy got fired from his job for missing so much work.
Good. It will give him more time to study the ways of the Sith. I dub him Darth Man.
And since we all have to say something nice about Wonder Woman 84, her uniform was really shiny. The colors were so vibrant. There, are you happy now?
Do we all have to say something nice?
Yes. Do it.
No.
You have to, Arnold. It's part of the gig.
Go in. I feel your anger, David. Do it.
Well,
use your hatred. It makes you
props to the guy
powerful.
who kept the gas in the plane. Huh? Huh? Props to that guy. That's my positive comment.
You know what else was quite positive about that movie? How positively little sense it made.
I thought you were going to say when the credits rolled, because that was really the most joy I got out of that movie. Thank God it's over. I don't have to watch this anymore. I was like, oh my God, I just wasted whatever amount of time that was. It took me a couple sittings to get through it, and I've never been more happy to complete anything in my entire life.
The opening fight scene was really good. How about that?
I will say that seeing Linda Carter appear in the end credits was okay. It wasn't as bad as the Morbius end credit scene. So I guess that's a positive.
As long as we're comparing it to Morbius, yes, the end credit scene made more sense. That isn't saying much, though. And that's not bashing Wonder Woman 84, Sierra. That's bashing Morbius, your dad's favorite movie.
Yeah, of course, it's my favorite. They're going to take my
Yes.
tortillas.
Arnold, I also very much like that movie. It makes so many people angry. Ugh, I can feel their anger, their hatred. It's so good. Wonderful. It makes them powerful.
How long do we got, Keith?
There's 20 seconds left. So
Okay, because
we're
I have to
about
go to the
ready to move
bathroom
on.
and I have to get out of here. Go to the bathroom.
Yes, get to your chopper, Arnold.
I'm
Run
into the
away.
chopper.
Go
When
and
it's over.
hide like Yoda.
And there we go. The 5 minutes is over. Thank you,
All
Nice,
right,
for
be right
cashing in
back.
all those channel points.
Yeah.
Should we finish up with Invincible?
I think we should,
Yeah.
yeah.
First half rating type of thing.
Well, hold on. Let's we didn't get a chance to get to the other subplot. So we talked about the whole Adam Eve thing. Talked
And
about
Donald.
Mark and Omni Man. Did we talk about kind of the aftermath of the fight with on Thraxa, whatever the name of the planet was?
Contraxia?
How they sort of the Viltrumites gave Mark, the mission to now go and take over for his father.
We did,
I don't
but
know
I
if
think
we
you guys were muted at the time.
we might have been, yeah.
Yeah, that's when we talked about Donald too.
That's right, yeah. So one of the things that I do love about this show is they are continuing to change things up enough to where if you read the comics, you can still be kind of surprised, And so there are a couple of things where you're like, oh, are they taking this in a little bit of a different direction? Like, I wonder what they're doing with this. So the version of Mark that we see in the comics, he is a little bit more prone to angry outbursts. And he does have to. What's up, Dave? Oh. He is a little bit more prone to having to sort of push down his darker emotions in order to not hurt people. In this, it seems like he's already aware that he wants to be better than the Viltrumites. He wants to be better than his father, and he really does want to be a hero. He wants to help people. In fact, Omni-Man even says that to him when when Mark was saying earlier in the episode, he's like, I don't have to help these. I don't owe them anything. And Omni-Man looks at him and is like, yeah, you are. You're going to help them. Of course you will. That's just who you are. You're a hero.
And we even see later in the episode where he really needs to let loose because it's kill or be killed.
Yeah.
And I do think we're going to see a change in Mark over the next couple seasons to where he's like, you guys don't know what's coming. We've got to be, ready for them. And, I think he's going to take what it means to be ready for them as, being, hard as he possibly can and needing to do whatever needs to be done to, stop the Viltrumites once they come. And I think that's going to be a tough adjustment for a young Mark.
I think so too. But one of the changes that I don't dislike, it's different, but one of the changes that they made from the comics is, again, it has to do with this version of Mark, how it is something that he is fighting with, something that he's he wants to be a better person, he wants to be better than the Viltrumites. In his fight, in the comics, he is a little bit more vicious. And the reason why the Viltrumites give him his father's mission is out of respect for how he did in the fight. So it's more like they're acknowledging him, like, oh, wow, you're really good at, wiping the floor with our asses. By all means, we're going to, you're an official Viltrumite now. We're going to give you your father's mission. But we're still going to shorten the time frame as punishment. So we'll see you in 100 years.
Yeah, the whole he now has control of the planet. I was like, yeah, because I know we had talked, Doug had told us last week that, they basically kind of stopped breeding the scientists and the smart people on their planet. So all they got is strong and dumb. And
Whoops.
I think that shows a little bit here. Like, okay, you fight well. You'll do what we want. Go take over Earth now. And they just basically gave him time to prepare for their invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't give a time frame. They just said we'll be back.
No, not in the show. They didn't. No, they're just like, it's more ambiguous, because I think that's leaving it open to, you don't know when they're going to show up. Now it's more of a, we can't even really set the clock. This doesn't give, Invincible, okay, we've got plenty of time to prepare, plenty of time to train. No, this is, they could be here tomorrow. We need to prepare now. Now, I wonder, what do you guys think Cecil is going to say about this? Because if you remember from the last episode, he did not want Mark to go. He was ordering Mark, do not go with those aliens. You don't know what they're planning. You don't know what's actually going to happen. And Mark was like, I'm a hero. I've got to do the right thing. And he ignored him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Mark going to bring his brother back to Earth, or did the Viltrumites take his brother?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think they took him, because they looked down on him, that he was like a lesser creature.
I didn't know if, when he talked about, hey, you don't know the Viltrumites, if, the breeding, procreating with aliens is okay if it's a humanoid, like you, Mark, but not, the kid who's going to name himself at whatever point. But I kept thinking maybe Mark's going to take him to Earth, start training him, because obviously he's half Viltrumite also.
And he's going to grow a lot quicker, too, with his Thraxan blood.
Yep.
So in just a couple of years, he might be a full-grown adult.
So he might be, hey, son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
True that. True to form, yes.
But it'll be interesting to see. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just thinking about the whole Donald thing, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's a different topic, but it seems like a small story now. But I wonder if it's going to develop into something. Because why are they spending so much time letting us know that Donald knows that he's a cyborg, basically?
I think it's a good way to make us distrust Cecil and his organization. It kind of makes us start to question, okay, do they really have the world and everybody's best interest in mind?
You think that Cecil's mission is more like a Ultron's kind of mission, like as long as I'm in control, like a fascist, I guess. Like as long as I'm in control, everything will be fine.
But now you have to wonder, why did he specifically bring Donald back as a robot? Why not just anybody? Why not just make a standard robot? Why did he specifically bring Donald back? Is there something about him that it's like, I cannot do this job without him?
Maybe Donald was a Viltrumite.
And just so you know, Nysith did cash in a dad joke.
Okay.
Oh.
I went to the zoo today and I saw a baguette in a cage. Realized it was bred in captivity.
So bad.
That's a dad joke. Yep.
So bad. But yeah,
Let's see,
the way that the way that Donald goes about discovering the fact that I love that he goes so far to look at the video and he's, oh my gosh, he watches himself get blown up, but that's still not enough yet. He's like, well, wait, hold on. Let me go double check. And you can see as he's, stabbing the knife into him that he's like almost relieved for a second. He sees blood and he's like, oh, okay, good. Because I was worried about that video that clearly showed me getting blown up. But then when he looks at the crunched up knife tip, now I can understand if it was bent slightly, that would probably happen if a knife hit bone. But the fact that they showed it crumpled, that's worrisome.
Well, and I wonder if the Donald that was blown up was a real man, and then they made him into a robot, like they put his brain patterns into a robot. They could switch that up from the comics a little bit. But he obviously.
Oh, what if? Oh, Keith, you might be onto something. Oh my gosh. What if the real Donald was like existed 200 years ago and it's just been robots since then that they've been implanting, brain patterns into or something like that? How long ago did the real Donald even exist? Or is this still the real Donald? Did he survive the explosion and now he's a Wolverine?
Or maybe this is the real Donald. No, it's not. Never mind.
No, the real Donald is in several pieces.
But his glasses survived.
Yeah, what the heck were those glasses made out of?
Adamantium.
Oh, okay. The same thing that's now covering his bones.
That's right. And if he goes like this, he got claws coming out. They're going to call him Claw Fighter.
They're going to call it what?
Claw Fist Guy.
Oh, God. Claw Fisto.
Yeah. Claw Fist Guy.
But should we maybe give our ratings? We could give a rating for this episode and then maybe a rating for the first half of season 2.
Yeah, okay.
The gentlemen are on board.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
All right. For this episode, for the reasons discussed earlier, I think I'd give this episode a 7 because it's something I'll probably watch again. It's definitely above average, but to me, like you gotta get an elite status. I don't think it makes it to the elite status yet. I think once we get the season as a whole, I'll find that out. Because as a whole, as the first 4 episodes of the season, yeah, I would give that an 8. I like it so far. I don't think I've given any individual episode an 8. But all as a collective project, I think I would give it an 8 so far. Doug, what do you think?
I think I gave the last episode an 8, and I think I liked it better. I loved the idea that we spent so much time with Alan, and I really liked that that twist that we were dealt with. The fact that we've got a mole inside the Coalition of Planets. I really like the idea that we've got the twist at the end. The twist where Mark is tricked into going to this planet. And I will say that it was a twist up until he got there. For me, I did not see it coming until he got onto the planet, so I still count that as a twist because it wasn't something that I saw coming initially. Now, once he got to that planet and, I realized that, that alien is lying to him. Okay, there's clearly something going on. Either he's going to be met up with, some other Viltrumite or, the 3 that were looking for his father, or it's going to be his father. And then when it turned out, when they said, would our emperor come out? It's like, okay, it's his dad. and then sure enough. So, I did really enjoy that last episode. I think that one that I gave an 8. This one it was fine. It was good. I appreciated the extra time that they gave Debbie. I am glad that she's got a lot more character development in this series than she ever got in the comics. So that was nice. It was nice, that they were able to show somebody who's actually dealing with the type of grief that she's going through.
Yeah, she's just a pet.
That's got to be so rough for anybody to hear. I really
Yeah.
like the changes that they've made to Mark's character. I like the fact that he's, in my opinion, I like. It's sort of like what the costume guy said. I can't remember his name. Art. That was his name. Art. It was like Art's description of Omni-Man. And he's like, well, he was born with power. That doesn't make him strong. That's him on easy mode. You're the strong one. I think the fact that Mark is doing everything he can to hold back his punches when he can. Obviously, in this Viltrumite fight, he finally did have to give into that. But before that, he was holding back his punches. I think that's almost Superman-esque. And I like that. I think that that shows strength of character, that he actually wants to be a hero. So much so that he's, I don't kill. I like that.
Except for Viltrumites. I'll kill them. I said except
for the
Viltrumites, I'll kill them.
See, and again, he might have to. I don't know the direction the show is going to go. So I'm not sure. He might. I don't know. But I will give this episode a 7 as well. It was good. It wasn't like the best thing I've ever seen. I think it's weird that they chose this to be a mid-season finale. It didn't feel like a finale episode. It felt like Amazon Prime arbitrarily deciding this was a good cutoff point, because they don't want to air episodes during the holiday season. I disagree with that. I don't think they need to worry about it. I think they could have kept dropping episodes. You don't see any of these other streaming services slowing down. Disney Plus isn't going to. They're going to keep dropping episodes, including on Christmas. So
look at, what if? That's on Christmas Day.
Yeah. So I think this was a poor decision on Prime. I probably would have felt a little bit better about things if we didn't get that announcement. This is such a strange choice because we're left with a kind of cliffhanger, but not really. I don't know. And so I think I'm going to give the series so far, these 4 episodes, a 7.5. It's good, but it could be better. And Amazon needs to do better by it. They need to market it more outside of Prime. I should be hearing more about Invincible. I saw videos and advertisements for Gen V outside of Prime. I saw them in a couple of different places. I've seen almost nothing for Invincible except for we got that initial trailer for it a while back, and that was about it. Most of the, I get that it's getting good numbers, but I think most of its marketing, I feel like, has been word of mouth from people who are talking it up and saying what a great show it is. So Amazon, I know that, Jeff Bezos and company, I know that you watch us regularly. You got to do better by Invincible. You've got to market it better. It deserves better.
Yeah, I don't see anything much outside of Amazon either. I'm on YouTube. Regretfully, I'm on YouTube a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see too many other. I don't even see too many other channels discussing it, really.
Yeah, it is kind of odd. But Keith, how are you feeling about it?
See, I really enjoyed it. I really thought the Nick Cave song playing over Omni-Man's sort of depression, flying through space, was just extremely well done. I think they're setting up things nicely for future episodes, which you want early in a season. Adam Eve, probably having, doubting herself a little bit and be getting angry about it and having that to overcome. We got Invincible, obviously coming back to this planet, knowing that the Viltrumites are coming and he has to prepare. I think sets him, on a path. I thought this episode was great. I'm probably going to give this episode probably an 8. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch it again. I was hoping to watch it again before tonight, but I didn't get a chance. And I think so far, this first half of the second season has done a really good job of setting a lot of things in motion and making it feel very organic. The things that are happening are based on things that happened, last season. We're finding, Adam Eve kind of starting to think her parents are a little bit right about her powers. And, she's kind of full of herself to think that she's some great hero at this point. And everything they've done, I think is leading to a very good place, and I can't wait to see where that place is. So I think for the first half of the season, I'm going to give it an 8.5. Now that obviously could change if they don't, stick the landing. If they pull a Loki and totally nail the landing like, they did, then it's probably going to go up. But I think they're putting enough stuff in motion with stuff because even, I think my favorite part is, they were really hinting at the multiverse and that main villain. And I thought he was going to be the main villain for this, but we've barely seen him. So they're even setting up that for probably down the road. I mean, it may come into play this season for Mark trying to, find a way to stop the Viltrumites when they invade, but they're setting up stuff for seasons down the road already. And I love when they do that. Just because you introduce the villain and, the Mauler twins, what they did with that in this episode with now we finally know who the twin is and he's like bossing him around and he feeds him poison so he can be the real one. They just really do a great job of writing each character distinctive and setting all these things up and not needing to cash them in 2 minutes. They're putting stuff in their back pocket that they can cash in later, and I think they're doing a great job on the writing with that. So, I hope they stick the landing because they've done such a good job setting it all up. But that's what we think. What do you guys out in the chat think that have seen it? I don't think Sarah has seen it yet, but I'm assuming Nysith hasn't either. But if you've seen it, let us know what you think. Is it one of your favorite superhero shows, or is it just meh?
You need to check it out if you haven't.
You really do. And I told you guys, my nephews are watching it. I was talking to them about it at Thanksgiving, and my brother's still like, yeah, I watched the first episode, that's it, of season 1. And I still don't understand how anyone could watch that one episode after that ending.
Did he see the end credit scene?
He did.
Right. How could you see that one episode and not keep watching?
That was what hooked me.
The last 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Insanity. That's why I'm still watching it now.
Yeah, that first episode, I was like, yeah, this is good. It's fine. It's, what did I do? What?
What?
What the what?
Yeah, before watching that, I hadn't read the comics before. Watching those first couple of episodes, that got me into it. I was just like, what just happened? What did I just see?
Right. Let's basically eliminate all of our main characters from the first episode just immediately.
They do. They go so far in setting them up and like giving us a glimpse into their lives, letting us get to know them. Like this wasn't a Star Trek red shirt thing. It wasn't like we got to meet their version of the Flash. We got to the Red Rush. We got to meet him, and we got to learn about his fiance. Saw Martian Man working on expanding his powers with his friend. Like, I mean, all of these people, like, we learned about their lives and got to know them a bit, and it was just like all of them gone.
Say goodnight.
Made it hurt just a little bit more.
Oh, it really does.
And that just goes to show you that it doesn't take long to do proper character development. I'm just going to say that every time it happens. I just hope that other writers, not that I'm a writer, but the writers can understand that.
I think that's what they've probably done best about this season so far, is they're taking the time to really develop the characters. It's what I feel like most of these episodes have been, is really expanding on each one of these characters.
It really has been.
Each one of them's a lot deeper. I like the Zazie Beetz character. What's his girlfriend's name? I can't remember her name.
Amber,
yes. I like that whole side, that whole college side of it.
That was
kind of keeps
funny.
the comedy still in it. And their other friend, I forget his name too, but he's hilarious. His college dorm roommate.
Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.